Hi, this is Trooper Joe from ArchAngel A to Chivalry, and you can catch my show on 7averadio.com every Wednesday from 3 to 4. Thank you. Hi, this is Trooper Joe, and I'm here with the president and one of the founders of this great event that just went on empowering women. Can you tell me more about how you got started and what made this happen?
Sure. So throughout my life, I've had people help me along the way, but there's always been challenges. And I've always felt that whatever role I'm in, that it's larger than me and giving back to our community is important. So this is sort of the work I think all of us in the founding members of the Massachusetts Women of Color Coalition have been involved in. It evolved over the years, but most recently I've had a vision around having a global movement for women of color. And we view this public launch today, and we hope and pray that it's the first of many to come. And the historic nature of it being here in Worcester is really important because of the women's national movement that took place here in the same very month many years ago. So we got started about 16 months ago, where I was really in a trying time in my career, and it really brought it in the forefront for me. And I really realized that we had to really focus on us, women of color, because our voices was just not being heard. And when we're at the table, there's either just only one or very few of us. And so I worked with women throughout my career in Boston that were part of my team and my board of directors, I like to call them. And so I said to myself, I'm going to stop whining about this. I'm really going to draw a line in the sand. This was February last year, and really put my money where my mouth is and start doing something about it. And so when I thought about it initially, I wanted it to be a coalition across Massachusetts because I thought it was important as a first chapter. And at the same time, Brenda Jenkins in Parallel Tracks was working with women in Central Mass and people of color in Central Mass, working on some of the very same thing. And she had a breakfast last April that brought women of color together in Central Mass, and I was invited to that breakfast, and we connected and bonded. And from there we reached out to other women in the major cities which are target: Boston, Worcester, and Springfield. And so we have women that are like-minded that have been working together over the last 16 months to bring this forward.
Wow, that's powerful and very. It says a lot about a networking event anyway, to meet up with Brenda, who I know, and she's a very inspiring, powerful person.
Her and I are co-founders because her vision, she was at the time was working with pulling women of color together in Central Mass. And my vision is a global one and pull together women across the state to begin with. So we formed, and she was there. We were kindred spirits is what we call that, right? When our minds are alike, and we just are so passionate about women of color and the fact that we really need to start advocating for the bold changes that are so necessary in this country and really around the world.
Yeah, I agree, and I like the fact that as women of color, it's not just one specific minority group. It's because I heard Native American, and a lot of the times I don't think Native Americans get any kind of recognition at all.
And this is why it was so important. It was so important for me from the very beginning that we are formed for women of color, because it's about all of us. It's about all of us, our Asian descent sisters, our Native American, our Latina, our Asians, our Middle Eastern sisters, our Black sisters, our Caribbean sisters. I mean, there are so many of us in all different shades, but we need to be united as one, and that's what makes us so powerful. And quite frankly, in this country, I think it is 2050, we are going to be the largest minority group. So you have to pay attention, because it's very important that we start making those changes, and people really realize how important it is to really hear our voices and address some of the needs that we need to address in terms of inequities.
Yeah, I agree. Even the men of color and stuff like that, we have to look more towards the future. Now, we can highlight all the events that have taken place in the past, because some of them are written down, so you can read them anytime you want to. But you got to have that projection into the future, I think. And this is what you're kind of looking. You're really saying.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're saying that our time is now. We're saying that it is time for us to own our experiences, own our truth, own the challenges that we face, but also to make sure that we do something about it. And so we are graduating colleges at a good clip. When you look at the small businesses that are growing, women of color actually have grown the small businesses at a very good percentage. And so we want to have a seat, more than one seat at the table. We want to have many seats, because we truly reflect the fabric of our country, and we need to be a part of those conversations.
Yeah. Now, I understand that the Miss Fox, who's she's leaving the political arena now, make no women of color in the political arena here in Massachusetts.
Right. She was the only minority woman of color. She is African American, and she was the only one, and now she is vacating that seat. And so, this stuff is real. Yeah. This stuff is real. We do not have the appropriate representations in all different areas of our country, and that really needs to change. And it starts with us. It starts with us making that push to make sure that happens, because if we don't, then nobody else will do that for us.
Okay, I got one more question for you about the youth. Just how are you going to incorporate the youth in this outside of the school, regular school, regular this? Is there some kind of home training type of program that you women of color might come together and put for the women, the future women?
Sure. So what's great about our coalition and our organization is that it is stored in with girls of color from high school. So we really have that eye out for really educating, empowering, and mentoring our young girls so that they are more prepared for the future. And so we will have specific now we have 5 platforms that we're focused on, right? We're focused on economic empowerment. We're focused on health and wellness. We're focused on politics. We're also focused on education, K through 12, and the criminal justice system. So that's the platforms that we'll focus on, but we're also going to integrate our young girls because, for example, even just learning about and being trained about what it takes to even run for office, that's very important that they understand that. And even if they decide not to run for an office, that they understand the process and why it's important to get involved in voting, for example. So we'll have different, under each platforms, we'll make sure that there's a component that's carved out for our young girls and our millennial sisters that are in the colleges and so forth.
That's powerful. I want to thank you for all this here, because I'm the man of color, and we kind of lazy and like to play a lot. So I know the future's going to be in some really good hands and stuff. So I'm really thankful that there's women of color out there who want to step up here and make the changes happen.
Okay, well, thank you for being here with us today. We really feel that this is an historical launch, and that that it's here in Worcester. Sometimes people say a lot of things happen in Boston. Well, you know what? There's a lot of things that's happening in Worcester, and we have the history around the women's national movement in this very month. 1850 started here, and so that's why it's really important that people understand that there is a world beyond Boston. And that we are focused on the state as a whole, and so that there is a home for every woman of color and our girls of color in our organization.
Wow. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you.
Hey, what's poppin'? It's your boy Truth It, and I'm inviting you 5 p.m. Mondays through Fridays to tune into the 5 o'clock shadow. On the 5 o'clock shadow, we talk about current events and no subject is off the table. I ain't scared. We also want you to be a part of the show. We encourage you to call in and give your opinion on whatever it is that's on your mind. Just know that weekdays at 5 o'clock, it's time to buckle up because you're going for a wild ride. Catch Rich, Natalie, and your boy Truth It on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock shadow, only on 7averadio.com.